for harm. This is your Bloomberg Quick Take on deepfakes. Deepfakes, or realistic-looking fake videos and audio, gained popularity as a means of adding famous actresses into porn scenes. Despite bans on major websites, they remain easy to make and find. They're named for the deep learning artificial intelligence algorithms that make them possible. Input real audio or video of a specific person, the more the better, and the software tries to recognize patterns in speech and movement. Introduce a new element like someone else's face or voice, and a deepfake is born.
It's actually extremely easy to make one of these things. There were just some supposed, breakthroughs from academic researchers who work with this particular kind of machine learning in the past few weeks, which would drastically reduce the amount of video you need actually to create one of these.
Programs like FakeApp, the most popular and widely available for making deep fakes, need dozens of hours of human assistance to create a video that looks like this rather than this. In August, researchers at Carnegie Mellon revealed software that accurately rendered not just facial features, but changing weather patterns and flowers in bloom. This advance is not yet available to the public. But with increasing capability comes increasing concern.
This is kind of fake news on steroids, potentially. We do not know of a case yet where someone has tried to use this to perpetrate a kind of fraud or an information warfare campaign, or for that matter, to really damage someone's reputation. But it's the danger that everyone is really afraid of.
In a world where fakes are easy to create, authenticity also becomes easier to deny. People caught doing genuinely objectionable things could claim evidence against them is bogus. Fake videos can also be difficult to detect, though researchers around the world and at the US Department of Defense have said they're working on ways to counter them. Deep fakes do, however, have some positive uses. Take Cereproc, a firm that creates digital voices for people who lose theirs from disease.
Speech synthesis is the artificial production of human speech.
There are also applications that could be considered either good or bad, like the many, many deepfakes that exist solely to turn as many movies as possible into Nicolas Cage movies.
Oh, hi, Mark. Surprised? I was actually horrified when I first learned about deep fakes. So this brings me to point number one. Back in 2018, we were talking about a world that had lost trust in the system. A new president in the White House whose Twitter feeds were the first, second, and final courses for fact checkers. Social media channels that were embroiled in fake news scandals. And who can forget Cambridge Analytica? To the extent, this data tells you that people had lost trust in the system. 2, we were and still are living in a world where pessimists matched optimists. So on the right-hand side, you see a screen where you look at the different countries that on the right-hand side talked about how optimistic were there. On the left-hand side, you saw how pessimist they were. And then you have the optimism indexes by age groups. What we realized was that there was a huge group of optimistic millennials countered by a lingering pessimism among the Gen Xers and the baby boomers. A large number of emerging markets like India and China were extremely optimistic, but on the other side, you had the more developed countries that were much more pessimistic. Third, we got into a year full of female superstars. Wonder Woman, Ariana Grande, and Williams. But they were challenging a world of fallen male counterparts in pretty much every walk of life. Number 4 on the canvas. 2018 was also the beginning of the inflection point for voice search, mostly driven by new devices, mostly coming from companies like Amazon. They were selling tens of millions of voice search devices, mostly the Echo. And I just want to play you a short video, which was the launch video for the Amazon's Echo device.
When it first arrived from Amazon, I didn't know what it was. What is it?
You'll see.
Is it for me?
It's for everyone. It's called Amazon Echo.
How's it going?
I'm just finishing up right now.
Is it on?
Oh, it's always on.
Can it hear me right now?
Nope, it only hears you when you use the wake word we chose. Alexa.
Well, what does it do?
Alexa, what do you do?
I can play music, answer questions, get the news and weather, create to-do lists, and much more.
Awesome. Alexa, play rock music.
Rock music.
Alexa, stop.
Wait, I want to try. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 3:27.
You actually don't have to yell at it, okay? It uses far-field technology so it can hear you from anywhere in the room.
So it can just hear you anywhere?
Yes. Well, everyone can hear you anyway.
Oh, is that where we're going to put it?
I was thinking of putting it there, but it works anywhere.
Alexa Echo was growing up. Five. And then there were two relative newbies gaining critical mass on the distribution or the platform side of the media game, Instagram and Netflix. Consumers were getting hooked onto these platforms like bees to a pot of honey. Two pieces of statistics. By 2018, Instagram had over 1 billion users, and Netflix had more than 100 million subscribers, not just in the US, but all over the world. And a combination of brilliant imagery-led content had hooked consumers onto these platforms like you never needed cocaine. So that's a little bit of the 5 elements that I believe created the canvas going into 2018. Now that we understand the canvas, let me share with you what I thought and my expert group thought were the key themes that played out in the marketing communications world in 2018 and in early 2019. This will be the main focus of the rest of my presentation today. So episode 2 is all about talking about the 8 big themes. And I'm going to read them out to you. First, hope. Was it restored? Trust. Was it regained? Real stories romanticized. Celebrities, rock on. Male superheroes, did they die? Creative twists, riveting. Great production values. And machines. Yes, baby, they're coming. I could have given them better titles, but hey, did I mention today, it's the client that is the king, at least for the next 1 hour. I shall dive into each of these 8 themes and provide you examples from a variety of sources. You may have noticed that I've sometimes provided a question mark on some of these points. It is so that it provokes some kind of thinking on the topic rather than give you a definitive answer. So fasten your seatbelts, folks. Our flight is about to take off into this beautiful world of marketing communications in 2018. So let's go to the first theme. Hope, was it restored? I shall provide you 3 examples where lost hope received some sparks, where optimism about the present and future drove a steamroller on the dark path of lost hope. And these examples come from 3 different parts of the world: Argentina and Latin America, the US, and our own market here in India. I'm going to play 3 videos. I'm going to explain, you'll understand why we talk about whether hope was restored.
Llegaste en un momento del mundo complicado y de todos los países que existen. Te tocó nacer en Argentina. Pero ¿sabes qué? Acá nunca vas a estar solo. Mira, ya empezó a pasar. ¿En dónde se dio que vayan 20 a recibirte en el aeropuerto? O te canten 50 mesas que no te conocen. Te van a aplaudir si haces un asado. Y también si aterrizás un avión. Es que tenemos algo que no tiene nadie. Siempre le encontramos la vuelta a todo. Cuando no queremos que nadie se quede afuera. Cuando sentimos que hay que ir para adelante. Cuando no alcanza y nos tenemos que apretar. Y cuando hay que bancar, por más difícil que esté la cosa. Así que quédate tranquilo. Te tocó un país en donde siempre, pero siempre, vas a tener a alguien al lado.
Argentina that was going through probably the worst financial crisis during that time, and this is Coke giving them a ray of hope. Next, I'm sure you've all seen this film, but let's watch it again.
If people say your dreams are crazy, if they laugh at what you think you can do, good. Stay that way. Because what non-believers fail to understand is that calling a dream crazy is not an insult. It's a compliment. Don't try to be the fastest runner in your school or the fastest in the world. Be the fastest ever. Don't picture yourself wearing OBJ's jersey. Picture OBJ wearing yours. Don't settle for homecoming queen or linebacker. Do both. Lose 120 pounds and become an Ironman after beating a brain tumor. Don't believe you have to be like anybody to be somebody. If you're born a refugee, don't let it stop you from playing soccer for the national team at age 16. Don't become the best basketball player on the planet. Be bigger than basketball. Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. When they talk about the greatest team in the history of the sport, make sure it's your team. If you have only one hand, don't just watch football, play it at the highest level. And if you're a girl from Compton, don't just become a tennis player. Become the greatest athlete ever.